Hi.
Hey guys.
We have a little bit to add in before the episode this time because we said it at the end, but we were rambling a lot. You guys were probably be gone by then.
So we want to make sure that you guys heard this because it's very important. We've got something new for you.
Big announcement.
We are now putting videos that we're recording of the ghost investigations, the paranormal investigations. We're putting them on Patreon.
Woo!
So come support us. It's super easy. It's $3 a month. Nothing big.
We didn't do any different tiers or anything. Just $3 gets you access to all of the content.
All the content. All the spooky ooky content.
Spooky ooky. So, we're really excited for you guys to actually be able to see the investigations because even us going back and listening to the audio, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like the ghost said yes or no with the dowsing rods. Awesome. But being able to see it is a whole different ballgame. Like, it is wild, it is scary, and you guys just can't get the full effect through audio, so we've been trying to figure out what we can do to make it even better, and we think this is going to be our best bet, so...
It's going to be great.
We're
Join
really
us
excited.
on Patreon.
Can't wait! Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Spooky Okie.
We are currently recording in a hotel because we are ghost hunting in the morning.
Yes, we're super excited. We are in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Yes, we are. And we got poke bowls right before this and ice cream. It was so great. So
Brahms
excited.
ice cream.
So good.
If you're listening from some other place that doesn't have Brahms, I'm so sorry for your loss
so
because
sorry.
Brahms ice cream is the best.
It truly is. It's wonderful. We were a little nervous making this trip, actually, because so we're going out to investigate tomorrow morning. We decided we were going to come down, stay the night, because it's like a couple hours from where we are. So we're like, okay, cool, we'll stay the night before, and then we're going to go out during the day, because this is a more dangerous location. So we definitely didn't want to do it at night, but we were like,
a little
we
off the
should
beaten path.
Yeah, we have to like kind of hike to it a little bit. And then 10 minutes before we were leaving, Catherine was on her way to my house to meet me, and my mom calls me, and she's like, hey, have you left yet? And I was like, no, not yet. I'm leaving in like 10 minutes. And she goes, I really don't think you should go. I have a really bad feeling about it. I just don't think you should go. And like, for those of you who don't know, my mom is like a little bit psychic. She just like senses things before they happen. Like, yeah.
It's a weird sixth sense that she has.
Yeah, she's like pretty psychic, and she's like not into that sort of thing at all, and would never admit like she is a little bit psychic, but she is. She has like weird dreams that come true, like just feelings that like turn out to be very valid. Mm-hmm. She knows things, and so she was like, I don't think you should go. I have a really bad feeling. I really don't want you to go out there. And I was like, well, we have a hotel booked and we're leaving in 10 minutes, and we have an episode that comes out tomorrow. So we kind of have to.
We gotta go.
And so she was like, I think it's great that you're going down and staying in the hotel and doing the episode. Like, that's great. But just going out there to that place, I just have a really bad feeling about it. And I was like, okay.
We'll be extra careful.
Yeah, I was like, I still have to go because we literally have to put on an episode tomorrow. But we'll be really careful. We'll bring a gun. Like, we'll bring weapons. We went and got wasp spray.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we'll really be aware of our surroundings and be really careful. We're going during the day. Like, we're careful. And I was like, we have sage, we have salt, we like have all this stuff. And so like, and we'll pray extra. It'll be okay. And she was like, I'm not worried about this spiritual stuff. That's not what's freaking me out. She was like, I have the sense that it's something physical. And I was like, well, I don't, okay, I'll drive around extra before we park and get out of the car and make sure nobody's around, and we'll bring a gun.
Yeah.
And so...
And then I forgot my gun.
Yeah, and then Catherine didn't bring her gun, so I was, like called out to my brother and was like, hey, can we borrow a gun? So...
Thankfully, he had one. It's very similar to mine.
He has many, so I was like, there are plenty of guns here, it's fine. But... So we were like, I had to bring a gun because my mom was like, I have a bad feeling about this. I don't think you should go out there, but if you do, you need to be really careful. And we were like, okay, great. So
now we're a little on edge.
Now we're really on edge. And then we walked into our hotel room, and like the hotel's fine. It's like nice, like whatever.
Yeah.
No like weird feelings about that. We walked into our hotel room and flipped the light on, and it flickered
For like a solid 10 seconds.
Yeah, before it actually came on. And we both just went, cool. Great. And then we went to Walmart because we were like, let's get some wasp spray because that can like protect us against creepy people. Like it's better than pepper spray. Yeah. And we also forgot the salt.
Yeah.
So we were like, we have to get salt.
I forgot my gun and the salt.
Yeah.
Both protective items I needed.
Very important things. And so we went to Walmart and first we were like, we don't know what salt to get. What is there a special salt you get to keep spirits away? And so Catherine was like, well, we could get like iodized salt or like, table salt, like whatever. And I was like, what about ice cream salt? And so we got like iodized salt and ice cream salt. Because,
so we're going to use both. We'll see.
But now I'm worried that the spirits might actually like the ice cream salt. But I'm sure it's fine. Salt is salt. But then as we were leaving, sorry, that was like a...
Salt is salt.
Yeah, salt is salt. But as we were leaving... We were, like, driving out of the Walmart parking lot, and we heard a gunshot.
We're like,
and I was like, oh, great. This is not a good start. We haven't even gone to the investigation yet, and there's already gunshots. This is perfect.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, so hopefully that's, like, what my mom had the feeling about, and, like, we're all good. But
yeah, hopefully that was it.
Anyway, if something happens to us on this investigation, then, well... Something happens to us, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what to say to that.
Just, this is warning, I guess, that... We might not make it out of this investigation.
Yeah. It might be our last testaments to people.
Honestly, how awful. But I was like, we're going to have literally 2 audio recordings and video going. If somebody tried something, they're stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess we should get this started because it's been like 6 minutes already and we're just rambling.
It's okay.
It's fine. So I'm going to tell the story about Brown Springs Cemetery.
Ooh, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait.
It's spooky. I will say the information was really hard to find.
Uh-huh.
There's just, like, not a lot out there about it, but it's such a creepy place. Like, it's so spooky.
I mean, it's Southern Oklahoma. What's not spooky about Southern Oklahoma?
It sure is. So, here are my sources. Again, it was really hard to find anything. But I used redriverhistorian.com, paranormalstories.blogspot.com, The Oklahoman, z94.com, and the digital libraries at OU. And then I also got some information from the books Strange State and Forgotten Ghost Tales and Legends of the Old West.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to say of Oklahoma, because that book has I think it's Forgotten Ghost Towns and Legends of Oklahoma.
Oh, very similar.
Like, quotes from my great-grandfather in it.
No way!
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, anyway, those are my sources.
Awesome.
All right, let's dive right in.
I can't wait to hear about this. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. So, Brown Springs is located in Love County near Thackerville.
Love County.
It is about 200 yards from the Red River, so, like, extremely close.
Yeah, very close, yeah.
Today it's abandoned, but pre-statehood it was a busy and bustling area. While this area used to be a destination for travelers, pioneers, and merchants, it was never actually a town, just a crossing and stopping point. Mm-hmm. Because although it was a great natural spring, it was too close to the river and flooded regularly, so they couldn't, like, build anything around there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It was too unstable.
Yeah. There was a woman named Lily Sproulls that lived there for a while as a child, and so I found a quote from her kind of describing, like, her experience living there.
Oh, okay.
So she lived there when her family came to what was then Indian Territory from Texas in 1875. And she said that, quote, there was a little trading post nearby called the Henderson Store.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. While living at Brown's Ferry, because there was also a ferry there, so they called it Brown's Ferry, we dug up all kinds of dishes and some human bones. We thought there had been Indians buried there at some time in the past.
Oh, that's cool.
End quote.
Neat.
Yeah.
I think my great-grandfather, my dad's grandfather, I think he ran a ferry across the Red River.
Really?
I think
there were quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he ran a ferry at one point.
Interesting. Yeah, it was a big deal until they kind of built the highways going across.
Yeah,
things like
I'll
that.
have to ask, but I think that was a thing.
Okay. So, she was probably correct about there being, what she said, Indians buried there, as Native American tribes did used to camp around the springs before the American settlement.
Gotcha.
So, it's always been a kind of a popular place for people.
Yeah.
It's kind of abandoned now, but throughout history, because of the natural springs, it was pretty popular. So sometime near the turn of the 20th century, J.C. Brown or Samuel Brown, I'm not sure which name is correct. I saw both.
Okay.
So he established a ferry between Brown Springs and Gainesville, Texas, which is like super close, like right on the other side of the river. And these were really common. Like, I feel like they were kind of every few miles on the Red River.
Yeah.
Because that was like the main way to get back and forth between Indian Territory and Texas.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really have the highways going across yet. So this area was also used by Texans to come over to Indian Territory after the Civil War, as they were trying to claim farmland in the Chickasaw Nation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Typical.
Yeah.
A white man.
Oh, white man. Typical.
I just showed her that video from New Girl where Schmidt is like, a white man, no.
What did they do about it? Nothing. Typical.
I love it so much. Yes, they were coming over to try to claim farmland.
Nice.
So the Chickasaw government didn't allow land purchases by non-Chickasaws, but people from Texas, exactly, yeah. But people from Texas continued to come over to Indian Territory and lease land. They could lease it, but they couldn't purchase it.
Well, good. The tribe's making money. Good
yeah,
job.
exactly.
Yeah.
Chickasaws have always been very smart.
Yes. They were big in the oil boom too, weren't they? Wasn't the Chickasaws that were really big in the oil?
Osage was also.
Osage was too, but I was thinking also
Chickasaws probably were. They do.
I could be wrong about that. I could be misspeaking. So I apologize if I said that incorrectly.
But you're misspeaking a compliment, so at least that's like good.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to not be a bad white person.
We try. We really try.
We really try.
But we really do.
You can call us out if we
Please do. Please correct us. We're happy to take feedback.
To correct.
Absolutely. But no, Chickasaw has always, they're so great and like do really great things for the community. Like not even their own citizens, but like a lot of things for the community as a whole too. Like they do so well.
And a lot of the tribes do that. A lot of the tribes will make a big impact in whatever towns they're in or what cities they're in. Like they make a big impact in helping the towns.
Yeah, because I grew up like
their own citizens.
Right. Like I grew up. I mean, Kanawha is right by Ada, and so like that's Chickasaw Nation, like right around there, and so. Yeah, I mean, it's the things that they do for Ada is incredible. Like, yeah. Anyway, enough, I guess, complimenting. I'll get on with the story. But anyway, we love the Chickasaw Nation. Great. So the people could come over from Texas and they could lease the land, but couldn't purchase it. So the law required them to purchase permits and pay fees to live there. And while most of the people did this, some did not. And when they didn't, the Chickasaw militia would put them back across the Red River into Texas.
Good job.
Yeah. So according to someone named L.B. Haney, I found a quote from him talking about, like, or I guess him. I don't know who it was. I found a quote from them talking about kind of their experience with, like, living in the area and, like, seeing this happen. So they said, the Chickasaw militia put people across the Red River when they refused to pay the permit. The militia often passed our house driving people into Texas. As soon as the militia had departed, the people whom they had driven out turned around and drove back. So
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but it's funny.
I know. I'm like, oh, man. So the permit that they had to purchase for this was originally $5 per year, but then it was raised to $25 a year. So that's like quite a big raise. And I think that's when a lot of people like stopped paying it and they were like, I'm just going to stay here anyway.
Yeah.
So, in today's money, that would be going from $91.41 to $457.07.
Dang, that's a big difference.
It's a big raise there.
Yeah, that's a big change.
Yes, for sure. But I mean, people still did it. They still paid it and lived there, or I guess didn't pay it and then got thrown out and then came back. I don't know. But by 1900, so many Texans had moved into Chickasaw territory that they actually outnumbered the Chickasaw citizens.
Oh wow.
So.
Gotcha.
That's kind of all we have on the area itself, because there's not much about that because it's not really a town.
Right.
So that's what we know about that area. And then the cemetery specifically, there are kind of differing opinions on when it was started. There's not a lot of solid information, but I'm going to kind of go through the different things that people say about it.
Okay.
So it's often referred to as an Indian cemetery or Indian burial ground, but this is not accurate. While there are some Chickasaw citizens buried there, there are also a large number of people buried there who are not Native American.
Okay.
So it's just kind of a general cemetery.
General cemetery. Okay.
I think people just say that because they think it sounds spooky or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a cemetery. Okay. So historical records list that there are 26 people buried in the cemetery. However, a report made by Jenny Selfridge on October 4th, 1937 has very different information. And you guys, I had to dig for this. This was hard to find.
Really?
Yeah, I found a random report on OU's library website from some random person I found the report from 1937 and was able to see it. So I really dug for this information. It was hard to do research for this one. There was just not a lot out there. But this report states that Brown Springs Cemetery was founded in 1867 by John Kreiner and was abandoned in 1920.
Okay.
So it's been abandoned for over 100 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So old cemetery.
Really old cemetery. So she reports that it was at Brown Springs where the Kreiner family settled after they left Colbert in the in the Choctaw Nation.
Okay.
Several of the Kreiners are buried in the cemetery. The report also states that there are approximately 100 graves in the cemetery, but only approximately 50 marked graves.
Oh, wow.
So at least half of the graves are unmarked.
Wow.
And those are the ones that we even know about.
Right.
So it's insane.
Wow.
The other kind of weird thing about the cemetery is that it has those natural springs. Uh-huh. And those are said to flow right under the cemetery. So the springs, the water has flown under all the bodies. Which is really creepy to me. I don't like it.
That's really creepy.
So don't take a drink of the springs when we're there.
Okay. Won't do that.
Yeah, they also say you will get haunted if you take any artifacts from there, even a rock. So make sure you don't pick anything up.
Okay, I won't pick anything up.
Because apparently people get haunted by taking things from there.
Okay.
So anyway.
Good to know.
Throwing that out there.
Good to know. Food for thought.
Yeah. So that's what we have from that report. That's the information that we have is 100 graves, only 50 of them are marked. But then there's another conflicting account that tells that the cemetery was founded by a Native American tribe, possibly the Creek Nation. The story states that the chief had teenage twin daughters. He had picked husbands for them, and they didn't want to marry the men their father had picked. Allegedly, he told them that if they could dance from sundown to sunup, they could marry the men of their choosing. However, he didn't know that both girls had heart defects, and they both died just before sunup.
Oh my god.
Tragic, right? I saw this on some random, it was probably on Reddit or something. So completely unfounded. I have no evidence of this happening, but somebody had said it's a good story, and somebody had said it, so I was like, I'll throw it in there.
Yeah.
And so they were buried where they died, which they said was kind of the tradition in that tribe. I did not look into that. I don't know, but that's what the Reddit post said. So I'll just say that.
Okay.
And their graves were marked with identical cedar or juniper trees with a rock wall around them to bind them for eternity. But then sometime in the 1970s, a tornado uprooted one of the trees and took down part of the rock wall. Okay. So that's something to look for when we're there. See if there's a part of a rock wall.
Yeah.
With a tree. So we'll look at that. Yeah. But anyway, that's a story that I saw. So I was like, I have no evidence of this, but
that's a creepy story.
It's a creepy story. So we'll put it in there and I'll say I have no evidence of it. So although the cemetery is now abandoned, it has become known as a body dumping ground. Ooh. Spooky. So in the 1970s, multiple bodies were found in Brown Springs, most of which were people who were murdered in Dallas and then dumped in the cemetery.
Nice.
I can't get a solid number.
Okay.
I spent hours trying to find
number.
A solid number or names or anything. Mm-hmm. Couldn't find anything.
Okay.
So I'll throw that out there.
Okay.
I can't guarantee that there were bodies. I mean, I know there were bodies found, but I don't know how many or anything. And then in 1988, this is the only one I found solid evidence of. Okay. In 1988, a car was found partially submerged in a pond directly south of Brown Springs. This car belonged to a man named Kenneth Olden, who was murdered in Saratoga, Arkansas by the Gainesville killers. Okay. William Henry and Davy Crockett. I can't make this up.
What?
Literally, his name is Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
I read that and I was like, what? Is this a joke? No, it's real. His name is Davy Crockett.
Oh my gosh.
So that happened. Apparently they like went on a murder spree and killed like 4 people, I think.
Golly.
Yeah, and this was, I think, the last one, maybe.
Jeez.
And they dumped his car back in Brown Springs. But they just kind of like made a circle. I don't remember exactly where they went. It was like maybe Marietta and then Gainesville, Texas, and then Saratoga, Arkansas, and then back to like Brown Springs, Marietta
Okay.
place. And then I don't remember where they caught them.
Gotcha.
But
Jeez.
yeah, so that's a story too. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one. In
I know.
True Crime.
I was like, I won't talk about it too much, but they found his car in Brown Springs. So the last thing, I didn't find any solid information about this.
Okay.
But I'll go into it in a little more detail when I cover like the spooky things.
Okay.
But some sources report that in 1997, a woman's body was found on top of her car at Brown Springs.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll go into it a little bit more in a minute. But that's kind of the last body dumping story that I found. So the most recent was like quite a long time ago. It was 1997. So hopefully we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I know, I'm nervous. So these don't include the numerous bodies found in the Red River itself, which could also be connected to Brown Springs. There have been lots of bodies found like in the river itself around this area.
Okay.
So could have some sort of connection because Brown Springs is like basically right on the river.
Gotcha.
So they could have literally gone through Brown Springs to dump them. I don't know if they did, but like
there's
a lot of bodies found around the area even if they're not in Brown Springs.
Okay.
So tons of them found in the river. Former Love County Sheriff Wesley Liddell admits that a few bodies have been found in the vicinity over the years. So so even like the former sheriff
is like
has admitted like we find bodies there.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, it happens, you know. It's Southern Oklahoma. We're gonna move on to like more of the spooky things, the like legends. And
I'm so ready for this.
Oh yeah, I wish I had more. Like there's not as much as I wish there was. I mean, there's a lot, but like not as much as I wish I could have found like evidence of. But I will tell you, I hope you guys can't hear this. There's a child screaming somewhere in this hotel.
If you can hear it, we're sorry.
Yeah, I apologize. So going on to kind of the local urban legends. Brown Springs has been compared to Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh my gosh.
Based on the amount of paranormal and supernatural occurrences reported there. Because, Skinwalker Ranch is just like a mix of everything. Everything you can think of just happens there.
Oh my gosh.
And I heard in an interview somebody who has investigated out of Brown Springs, like being like, oh yeah, it's like Skinwalker Ranch out there. Like, there's just everything. Gosh. So it's like the lesser known Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh my gosh. It's Oklahoma's Skinwalker.
It really is.
Oh my gosh.
It's so spooky.
Okay.
So I'm going to list some of the things. You can interrupt me at any point you would like to talk about any of these. Don't worry. It's a very long bullet point just listing weird things.
Okay.
So just a few of the things seen in Brown Springs are Bigfoot.
Okay. Well, Southern Oklahoma. Check.
Naturally. Dogman.
Dogman. Okay.
Yeah. Now I saw a lot about that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's even in like some of the stories that I'm going to go through in a minute. Like it's mentioned in one of them.
Oh.
They're like, they left his body for Dogman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Little people.
Okay.
Bog monsters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Tigers.
Well, I mean,
Tiger King.
Tiger King is not. Wait, how far is Tiger King from here?
I don't know, but they were building a new one in Thackerville, weren't they? I mean, I don't think they are anymore. But like they were. I guarantee.
And there's also like another safari kind of place.
Yeah.
Not a real zoo.
Are you talking about like?
There's another place near here.
Yeah. I don't remember, but
I can't remember either.
Oh, so earlier today, not when I was doing notes, I was just like scrolling through Facebook or something. I don't remember. I saw this article that listed the animal most likely to kill you in each state. Oklahoma's was tigers. because so many tigers have escaped like these random like zoos or like whatever you even call those things.
Yeah, like,
not a zoo, but
they're
like
not like an accredited zoo. They're
No,
like
they're-
a sideshow zoo.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But when tornadoes hit, the tigers escape.
Tigernado.
And
Oh my gosh.
so the animal most likely to kill you in Oklahoma
It's a tiger.
is a tiger.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that insane? And so
Only in
apparently they've
Oklahoma.
seen tigers in Brown Springs.
Oh my god.
So that's great.
Of course. No wonder we needed a gun. Okay.
Exactly. I don't know how good that'll do against a tiger, but
I mean,
we'll see. Hopefully
It's-
not.
it's-
Actually, I hope we don't see.
yeah.
It'll be okay.
Yeah.
So they've also seen orbs in pictures and stuff.
Nice. Classic.
Animal carcasses from cult sacrifices.
Well, great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wonder if they're tigers. Sorry. Probably not. Probably like squirrels or something. Possums.
You just see a tiger skin stretched out across.
Dude, if I see that, I'm out of there.
a stone pentagram.
Ugh, no, I'm out of there if I see that. So animal carcasses from cult sacrifices. Hopefully
Okay.
not tigers. Human bones.
That's great. Mm-hmm. That's lovely.
Bloody knives with fresh blood.
Nope.
Somebody
Out.
said, I should have written this story down. I think it was actually in the Oklahoman. They were talking about how like they went out there and this is the one I started telling you earlier.
Okay.
So these people like went out there, parked their car up at the road because you have to like kind of hike there a little bit. Not like hike, but you have to walk a
little
decent
ways.
little ways. Yeah. And so they started walking there on this path. One of the people was like barefoot, I guess, because it's southern Oklahoma. And
Yeah.
so they started walking there, and then they saw in the tree a bloody knife. It was like stabbed into the tree, and there was like blood dripping from it. And they were like, well, we got to get out of here. And they turned to like go back up the trail to their car. And the guy that was barefoot was like, but suddenly there were stickers everywhere on this path, and there hadn't been. And I was barefoot. Like
you would have noticed that.
Right.
Like,
and then he was like, and then the car wasn't where we parked it. It was like down the road quite a ways.
oh my god.
So
That's creepy.
that's why you have to put salt around your car, man.
Like, you gotta
Ice cream salt, preferably.
Ice cream. You can't mess with this.
No.
Like,
Although, honestly, I think what I think happened is they took the wrong path back up because, like, then there were stickers on it and there hadn't been
Yeah,
before. And then
that's
the car
gotta
was
be.
moved. I think they just took the wrong, I think they got lost.
I think they
and
took
took the wrong path.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, they did say they saw, like, a bloody knife stabbed into the tree with fresh blood.
Yeah, if we see that, we're out.
Oh, yeah. I will cut this investigation short.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So, sorry, guys. Hope you get an episode.
Hope you get an episode.
If not,
At least you got some
don't.
good stories.
Yeah, exactly. We might have to just call it good with the stories. But we're going to try. They've also seen ghosts, naturally.
Okay.
They've heard children laughing.
Oh, that's
That's a demon.
a demon.
That's a demon. They've
Ooh,
heard
that's scary.
women screaming.
Okay, well, that's scary, but also women screaming can also be a cougar, mountain lion.
That's true. I saw one at my house once. Did I tell you that?
I know.
I mean, I was like 11 or something. So, like, maybe I didn't, but, like, I'm pretty positive I did. I was,
Oh,
like,
wow.
going back to the back pond, which is, like, our neighbor's pond. I live on 20 acres, for those who don't know. And I was a little country child, even though I am really not
Today.
a country person today. But I lived on 20 acres, and so I would go fishing when I was a child because I liked country things. And so...
So funny to imagine you like that.
I know, it's weird. But, so my little brother and I were, like, walking back to the back pond, which was our neighbor's pond, but they let us fish there. And so we had to, like, crawl over a barbed wire fence and all that.
As you do.
As you do in the country. And it's, like, a decent ways from the house. I mean, it's, like, our house is kind of in the middle of the property. So we got, like, 20 acres. So we were, like, crossing back to the pond. You can't see the house from there or anything. And let's see, I was probably like maybe 11 or 12. So he would have been like 5 or 6. And we were going to go fish. And we get close to there. We hadn't crossed the fence yet, but we could like see the pond from the fence. We were about to cross over. And then we looked and saw a mountain lion. And it ran off into the trees when it saw us, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And
Because y'all would have been snacking size.
oh, yeah. Connor was little. Like, my brother, he was little. He was, like, 5 or 6. And I left him. I booked it, and I don't run, but I ran out of there.
That's hilarious.
And
Connor could have been Mountain Lion snack, and you would have just been like, peace out.
Oh yeah, I booked it out of there. And honestly, if I remember right, I think I dropped everything I was carrying and just ran. And I assumed he was running behind me, but he had like picked everything up and he's like trying to run carrying all of our fishing poles and tackle boxes and everything, and he's like 5 years old.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so he already can't run fast. He was a chubby little thing.
Oh my god.
He's not anymore. He's not anymore. Like, he would be mad at me if I said that, but
yeah.
He was a slow little chubby thing. And he couldn't run. Like,
poor baby boy.
And he was just trying to run from a mountain lion, and I left him.
Wow. All right, so we know who's getting left on this investigation.
I will leave you.
Happens.
I will run.
I will be the chubby little Connor boy being left behind carrying the paranormal equipment.
Oh, if something happens, we're just going to leave the equipment.
Oh, yeah, we're leaving the equipment.
Yeah, no, just book it out of there.
Replace it.
So anyway, sorry, that was like a long story. But anyway, I saw a mountain lion once, so that was the moral of that story.
If we see a mountain lion, do not run.
Yeah. Now I know that.
Okay.
I know that now.
Okay,
but when I was like 11, I was just like, get me out of here.
If we see a mountain lion, we do not run. We back up, and we always keep eye contact.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Sorry if you hear the screaming child again. Child is still screaming.
It's not a ghost. It's just a child.
Just a child.
We're not investigating yet. Anyway, I guess I should get back to the story. Sorry. So they have heard women screaming, or maybe mountain lions.
Mountain lions.
There's been malfunctioning electronics.
Of course.
So, naturally.
Also in a weird part of Oklahoma.
Right. I don't know if there's service. I hope there's service. That would be dangerous if there's not.
We'll have to see.
I'm a little nervous. Can we even record if there's not service? We can.
We should be able to, yeah. We just...
Guess we'll find out.
We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. So, they've also heard loud howls, which people have said, like, I know what coyotes sound like. They're not coyotes.
Oh, okay.
They think they're like, I don't know, some sort of Bigfoot or something, but I'm like, or maybe Dogman. Maybe they think it's Dogman. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think Bigfoot howls. Does he? I don't know.
I've never heard of anything saying that Bigfoot howls.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either.
Doesn't sound like he would. So it must be Dogman. But anyway, they say they hear loud howls that are like, they're not coyotes. They've seen full body apparitions.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Ooh, I got chills.
Also, this is probably my least favorite. Shadow figures.
Oh, no.
I really hate shadow figures. That really creeps me out a lot.
Yeah.
They've heard the sound of horses and gunfire.
Okay, now that's cool.
I'm cool with that. If we hear that, I'm not going to freak out.
I'm going to be like, heck yes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And apparently, I saw somewhere that there's kind of a drawbridge sort of thing that's like broken down.
Oh, cool.
Kind of near it.
Okay.
And they've heard it on that.
Cool.
So kind of that like residual energy of like,
I am cool with that.
Following the path they had followed during life, like that sort of thing, like outlaw days.
I am all for that.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's so much better than all these other things.
Yes.
Somebody also reported seeing a headstone fall over while they were looking at it.
Oh, I would pee my pants.
Which is like, those have been up for like 150 years.
And
why is it falling over?
Moment?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
They've seen demonic faces in pictures.
Oh, no.
Hate that. Hate that so
like
much. And a little girl standing by a gravestone marked Butch.
That's a demon.
Mm-hmm.
That's a demon.
That's a demon for sure. So those are kind of the spooky things that people have seen or heard out there. That was a long list.
I'm so nervous.
I know. I'm like honestly terrified.
I'm so glad we're doing it in the daytime.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. So that's what like people have.
We're
heard.
real brave ghost hunters.
We have not done a single nighttime investigation.
No, we've chickened out every time.
We're so scared. This one we didn't plan on going at night. This is too dangerous.
Yeah, we knew out in the middle of the woods, like we're not gonna go do that in the
No way.
Not two women by ourselves
No.
in southern Oklahoma. No.
I'm nervous enough to go during the daytime.
Yeah.
That's why we brought a gun.
Yep.
So now I've got a couple of stories about the olden days of Brown Springs. So one story passed down from generation to generation is about a family who used to live there. According to legend, these people were involved in small animal sacrifices and contacting the spirits of outlaws and bandits killed on the land. The family was also known to rob and kill travelers in the area, as well as imprison and rape the women.
Wow.
One woman escaped and made it home to her family. When she told them what happened, they went to Brown Springs and killed the head of the family. They staked his body to the ground and chopped it open with an axe, leaving it for the Dogman.
And why is it always an axe? Like,
it's so brutal.
Oh.
So they said the next morning his soft organs were missing and his insides had been scattered.
Okay, well,
which
I thought immediately is coyotes.
Yeah, I mean, that's on brand for them. That's what they do.
That's what they do, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they thought it was Dogman, though. They left him for Dogman.
Okay.
So,
Dogman, coyotes.
It's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
What's the... I should know this. I'm the one doing this research. Do you know the difference between Dogman and a werewolf? Or is it, like, kind of a different name for the same thing? Or maybe Dogman is always Dogman and werewolf changes?
I feel like a werewolf changes, but Dogman always stays the same. I don't know, though, like, how... I don't know all the stories of Dogman, though.
I should have looked more into that, probably. Maybe we can do an episode about, like, cryptids.
Yeah, we should do an episode on cryptids in Oklahoma. That'd be good.
Because there's a lot.
Especially Bigfoot.
Oh, so many about Bigfoot.
There's even a Bigfoot
festival?
Hunting season.
Oh, yeah, and the hunting season. And isn't there, like, a...
You can buy, like,
like a Bigfoot...
A Bigfoot hunting, like, license.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And isn't there a reward if you, like, bring in Bigfoot?
Yeah, but I think it's actually you're not supposed to kill Bigfoot.
Yeah, it's, like, only if you bring him in alive.
Yeah.
Like, okay, good luck with that.
Gosh.
Wild.
And
Welcome to Oklahoma.
It was right after marijuana got legalized for medical use.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, we're gonna have all these high drunk rednecks with guns looking for Bigfoot. Like,
oh yeah,
not a good combination.
This is gonna be great.
This is not a good combination.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, we should do a cryptid episode.
We should do a cryptid episode.
That'll be fun. So another thing that is not quite that crazy, but legend also says that Texas Rangers would wait on the Texas side of the Red River for outlaws and criminals to cross the border into Oklahoma. And when they stopped at Brown Springs for water, because it was like the best natural spring around there, they would shoot them from across the river.
Dang.
And then hurry across and bury them at Brown Springs.
Dang.
So that's fun.
I mean,
that probably happened.
I
don't doubt that.
Happening.
Yeah. Yeah, like, don't doubt it at all. And then there's another story that, again, I couldn't find any solid information about.
Okay.
The interview that I heard was from, like, somebody who does investigations out at Brown Springs pretty regularly.
Okay.
And he was telling about this, but I don't know. I wasn't able to find any, like, reports of it, and I should have been able to.
Okay.
But then also, the guy I was listening to said that, like, he had talked to police, and they were like, it's an ongoing investigation, we're not releasing any information.
Okay.
So
that could be why there's not
but
stuff,
there should be something, because, okay, here's the story.
Okay.
So, there's also a story that a couple went parking out near Brown Springs.
Okay.
And they didn't come back.
Okay, and when parking is like go out and make out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when people went looking for them, they found their bodies near Brown Springs.
Okay.
The man had been thrown into the brush nearby, and the woman was found spread eagle on top of the car. So this is that one from earlier.
Okay.
So the year that I saw with that earlier was 1997.
Okay.
So I wouldn't think it would still be an open case that they couldn't give any information out on.
Yeah, typically, like, for that kind of, if it's, like, especially if they don't have any leads.
It's a cold case at this point.
They might keep some information that they don't want to give out so that they can, if the killer gives it away, like, they can know that it's the killer. Right. But they'll release enough information that they can get some leads from the public.
There should have at least been some sort of article about bodies being found.
A
double homicide would be in the newspaper, I think.
Story.
So I didn't see that, but I mean, I figured I had seen a few sources listing, like, woman found on top of the car in 1997, and then this had more information about it. So I was like, well, multiple sources say it. I guess I'll go ahead and put it in there. But I will, like, preface that I could not find any solid evidence.
Okay.
But they say that she was found spread eagle on top of the car. She had been raped and her body completely torn open.
Oh my gosh.
Like, ripped apart. The legend is that this was done by Bigfoot or Dogman.
Okay.
Although it's actually suspected by somebody that does, like, what is it called? Remote viewings or something? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like a remote viewing investigation where they, like, I don't know. Look it up, you guys. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they like kind of some sort of like psychic thing where they like get more information about it. I'm not sure exactly what it involves, but somebody does that.
Okay.
And decided to try to get more information about this case. And she found out through, however she does that, that they were actually victims of a satanic cult ritual.
Interesting.
Which is not the first talk about a satanic cult out there.
It's not. However, I feel like...
that doesn't seem like typical cult behavior.
No. Because that's going to pretty much end the cult as soon as somebody finds out that it is a cult. Like, that's the... If they do that, like, that's saying that's the end of the cult because they're going to be, like...
Right.
Shut down.
Right. So... that doesn't really add up to me. It doesn't seem like cult behavior.
No, it doesn't.
Not that I'm super familiar with cult behavior, but like that doesn't seem like a very ritualistic killing. No. Especially because like the guy was just kind of like killed and thrown in the brush.
If anything, it seems like somebody did it and tried to make it seem like
a cult or like Bigfoot or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So like the story is that like she was raped by Bigfoot and torn apart, and I'm like, I've
also never heard of. I mean, maybe I don't know.
I've seen a couple of things only when looking this up because I had to look up some weird stuff, you guys. This was some weird research.
We need to clear your search history when you die.
Probably. I was looking up some very strange things about Bigfoot. So, nice. Apparently there are a few stories out there about Bigfoot raping people.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, so not great. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
Maybe we have the gun because of Bigfoot.
Apparently. Dangerous.
Okay.
So, also, like, I heard there had been daytime Bigfoot sightings there, which I'm really not a fan of.
I'm really not a fan of that. I thought we would be fine because we're going in the daytime.
I know. I don't like that. So, anyway, that's all I know about that story is that it's not sounding realistic, but, you know, who am I to say? And, like, maybe it is Bigfoot and people are covering it up and there's a big conspiracy about it.
And I'm not, like, a big Bigfoot believer, but I'm like, if Bigfoot were to exist, it would exist in southern Oklahoma. Like,
oh, yes. Yeah.
Like...
I mean, there have been, like, sightings or whatever. I don't know how legitimate those are.
Also, I'm like, though, in southern Oklahoma, with all the hunters that are here...
Yeah. Somebody would have shot Bigfoot.
Somebody would have shot Bigfoot by now.
Yeah. You would think.
You would think. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But then it's also, like, where do these stories come from? Like...
yeah.
Because kind of, like, every culture has their version of Bigfoot.
Right.
And so then it's like, well, what is that? Where did that stem from? Like, I'm of the thought that, like, all of these, like, urban legend, like, cryptids probably stem from something that maybe doesn't exist anymore or something like that. But, like... I don't know. I don't feel like Bigfoot's out there causing a scene.
I don't think so. I mean, he's too big of a creature to just...
He's Bigfoot.
He's Bigfoot.
Sorry, that was dumb.
He would have to... I mean, it would be so hard for him to hide. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it was Bigfoot, just to throw that out there. I don't think so. But anyway, that was kind of the last, like, really weird story. However, speaking of Bigfoot, according to the Oklahoman, there was a Bigfoot investigation at Brown Springs in 1991.
Interesting.
So, there was a whole article in the Oklahoman about Brown Springs. They told quite a few of these stories, not the, like, woman found or whatever. They did say there was a woman found on top. I think that one said it. That there was a woman found in 1997 on top of her car or whatever. But they did say there was a Bigfoot investigation in 1991 happening. But I couldn't find any, like, actual information on what happened with the investigation or what group was doing it. Like, I'm not sure. But there are a lot of groups and individuals who, like, regularly investigate out at Brown Springs. And they report it's highly active, not only for ghosts, but for cryptids as well.
Okay.
So... multiple people are reporting that there's cryptids out there, but also it's southern Oklahoma. So, yeah. So who knows?
Who knows?
Brown Springs, what a mystery.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. All right.
And that is the story of Brown Springs.
Oh,
sorry, that was all over the place. I did not know how to organize that information.
No, you did a great job. That is, I'm nervous now.
I'm so scared.
Okay.
I should drink my Dr. Pepper. I didn't even drink it.
I know, I didn't even drink my Coke.
You guys, it was so embarrassing right before we started recording.
Oh, this is
I guess I'll tell it. But it was so embarrassing. We went downstairs to like get a pop or a soda and
a Coke.
I got a Dr. Pepper, but Catherine you got a Coke, right?
I got a Coke.
So we went down there only because Catherine wanted to get a Coke. And I was like, I literally just chugged a boba tea and I have a shake from Brahms. I do not need another drink. I'm not bringing my wallet. I'm not going to get anything. Don't let me get anything. And we go down there and she's like, do you want a Dr. Pepper? It's right here. I can just grab it. And I was like, well, and she just grabbed it.
I just grabbed it. I was like, yeah,
and I was like,
you want it. I could see it in her eyes. She wanted the Dr. Pepper.
Okay. And so we were talking and I'm like, ugh, I literally just said, as we're like going toward the elevator, I was like, I just said that I do not need a pop, and you just like, let me get one.
And I was like, I'm your pusher.
Yeah, I was like, well, I guess better that than alcohol. And
I was like, well, caffeine is a drug, so I guess I am your pusher.
And as the elevator doors open, and there's like nobody in this hotel hardly at all.
No.
Like it's like there's not that many people. As the elevator doors open for us to get on, I loudly said, well, I guess I'm a drug addict. Because she was talking about caffeine being a drug. And I was like, well, I am a drug addict. And there was somebody on the elevator.
And they looked at us like we were crazy.
And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
So that was kind of embarrassing. I just kind of hung my head and got in the elevator.
It was great.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we should probably go to bed and get well rested for this investigation tomorrow.
Yep, because we're gonna probably get up fairly early to start looking for this place, make sure we can find it.
Gotta beat Bigfoot out there.
Gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, glad we have a gun.
Yeah.
And wasp spray and
wasp
salt.
Spray. Yes.
Does salt work on cryptids?
I don't know.
I would think probably not.
Probably not.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe so, because in the episode of SpongeBob, they like have to sorry. In the episode of SpongeBob, they're like, what is that called? The like bear thingy. Some like bear or whatever. And I didn't watch SpongeBob as a child really, but like my siblings did. Oh really?
I wasn't allowed to.
My siblings would watch it, and I'm like way older than them, but like I would occasionally like see an episode here or there. And there was some episode where they had to draw a circle and stay inside of the circle because there was some like sea bear or something that would like attack them if they stepped out of the circle. And so that sounds like a cryptid to me, and the circle sounds like a salt circle. So maybe it does.
Okay.
If SpongeBob is correct.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a child.
No, that's
My
wild.
mom was like, it's stupid. I'm not watching that.
You know, that would be me as a parent, too. There are some shows that I'm like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway,
yeah. No,
according to SpongeBob, I think, following SpongeBob logic, salt circles should work against cryptids.
I'm going to have to watch more Supernatural and remind myself what they do when there's cryptids. Because I think they have cryptid episodes. And not just like
or maybe
ghosts.
We should like actually research it instead of watching fictional TV shows.
You know, that would probably make more sense.
Not as fun though.
No. Yeah. Okay. Well, we need to get off and
we do. We're just rambling at this point, so sorry if anybody's left. We will be videoing our investigation. We should have said that at the beginning. My goodness.
I don't know.
Everybody's gone by now.
I know. Nobody's going to listen to this.
No. We will be videoing our investigation if you would like to watch, because who knows, you might see Bigfoot.
You might see an orb. You might see
there's so many possibilities.
Demon ghost child.
There are a lot of possibilities out there. You might see Dogman or little people or
shadow figures.
Oh,
I hope not.
I'm scared about that.
Oh, and we've got a spirit box now.
We have a spirit box?
We're going to try it out for the first time.
Why are we trying it here? It's going to be so scary. If it starts talking, I'm leaving.
You're not leaving.
I'm so scared.
I need like a kitty leash for Madison. So
yeah, one of those like kid backpacks with the leash on it. Yeah. I have the little like wrist things for kids.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. You like each get a bracelet and it's like stretchy.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
That's pretty great. But anyway, sorry. Wow, we're rambling a lot this episode. I'm rambling a lot this episode. Anyway, if you would like to see our video content, then support us on Patreon. It's only $3 a month. We didn't do different tiers. You pay $3 and you get access to everything.
Yep.
So we will be video recording all of our investigations from here on out. As long as it works. We're going to try it out. As long as we make it out of Brown Springs. Yep. But it will be on Patreon. So become a Patreon supporter, and you will have access to that. It should be nice and spooky.
You'll see all the spooky content.
Oh, yes.
And us, probably being crazy,
making
like
fools of ourselves, as usual. So...
And our scared faces. You get to hear our scared voices, but you don't always get to see or you've never gotten to see our scared faces. I'm sure I make great scared faces.
Oh, same. I will say it's going to be really cool to watch that, even just with the dowsing rods, because I like going back and listening to the episodes. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they said no, yeah, they said yes. But watching those rods move is like one of the scary, like my heart drops every time they start moving. Yeah, it's honestly crazy. Really terrifying because they shouldn't move. Like they shouldn't cross, they shouldn't open, like they're supposed to point the same direction.
Yeah, like you should be able to tell by the hand position what way they're going to move because like gravitational force and stuff like that. But they don't move in the way that the hands are pointed.
they move against what they should be. Yeah. It's very creepy. Yeah. So I'm really excited for you guys to get to actually see that because you just can't get the full effect with audio. Like we're trying and we'll try to do even better at describing it, but but you just can't get that full effect.
Sometimes we just get so spooked by what's going on that we forget to like describe what's going on.
Yes.
Because again, we're more skeptical people, and so I think every time we go out, I'm expecting nothing to happen.
Exactly. I'm always like, we're not going to get enough content for an episode. There's no way.
There's no way we're not going to get anything because nothing's here. And then we do, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah. It's always a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
So anyway, support us on Patreon so you can get access to our video content. It's nice and spooky. We hope. Or we don't.
It's a mixture. Yeah. We hope that it's the right enough spooky and not too much spooky.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not spooky enough to make headlines.
Yeah, I'm a little scared about that. Can you imagine podcasters murdered in Brown Springs?
Amateur podcasters.
With 2 listeners. Oh, okay. Anyway,
right, on that note, bye y'all.
Goodbye. Stay spooky.
Stay spooky.
We're dumb.